Can a scooter be art? Well, I'd say yes it can, and those who don't agree clearly haven't seen Italjet's latest creation. It's called the Dragster, and I think it's quite simply the best looking scooter ever made. Partly because it looks like a Ducati and a Lamborghini had a baby, and partly because it's such a marvel of engineering. That modular trellis frame, paired with hub-centric steering and ISS system, is some Leonardo da Vinci level business right there. With a trellis frame and styling even Envy Augusta would be proud of, the Dragster aims to bridge the gap between the scooter and the motorcycle world. One thing I'm very pleased to see is although the new Dragster is a completely new design, it still shares the same DNA and design language as the original Dragster from the 1990s. So the big question I know a lot of you have been waiting for, what about performance? The good news is, the Dragster uses a liquid-cooled Piaggio Aprilia engine that definitely holds its own next to its modern rivals. Acceleration on the 125 is brisk, and the 0 to 30 time seems to be around the 2 to 3 second mark. That's around the same as a Mark 7 Golf GTI for a comparison, so should do pretty well at the traffic light Grand Prix. I couldn't do a full throttle top speed run as the engine is still being ran in, but even with only partial use of the throttle, I was able to make my way towards 65 miles per hour. One thing that did impress me was the amount of mid-range power the engine had available. On a lot of modern small cc scooters, once you lose that initial momentum, throttle response feels flat, but the Dragster still wanted to give even when accelerating away at higher speeds. One point I feel worth mentioning is that while many remember the original Dragster as an old two-stroke Stormer that could scare much bigger motorcycles, this was only really true when you started to tune them. With a stock engine, the original Dragster would only do 65 to 70 miles an hour. So given that the new Dragster has been forced to be slightly more eco-conscious and meet those Euro 5 emissions regulations, the fact it's only marginally less powerful is a fair compromise in my book.
That was mid-millennium scooters being raised with Piaggio's 125cc leader engine. You can see speeds of up to 65 miles per hour appear on that trendy dash.
While on the subject of tuning, you will be pleased to hear that just like the old Dragster, the new Dragster has a whole range of tuning and styling goodies available, and it's a range that keeps on growing. Italjet are currently working with Aprokovic, Malossi, Öhlins and Brembo to bring you a range of optional extras to further enhance your Dragster experience. Tuning and customization will play a big part in the next generation of the Italjet Dragster. Two different exhaust systems are available, as well as a decap pipe, one being a race exhaust, the other one being fully road legal. A range of uprated carbon panels can also be added, which include a rear mudguard, a lower seat cowl, the front mudguard and the front grille. A set of Brembo racing levers and master cylinders also add a nice touch to the bars. A pair of uprated Öhlins shocks. Anyone who knows about Öhlins knows these are serious business. And we also see a full Malossi transmission kit, including a clutch and variator. Handling wise, I'm glad to report it feels like a Dragster should, and it's great to see the evolution of the same steering system found on the 90s Dragster, back again and better than before. It's a characteristic I've always loved about Italjets that use hub-centric steering. While all motorcycles have their own different levels of agility and handling characteristics, any motorcycle that uses a traditional suspension fork setup has somewhat of a similar feel. A bike that uses an ISS system is just different. You brake differently, you corner differently, but once you get used to it, you can appreciate why those engineers brave enough chose this system over the tried and tested fork design. Handling is precise and the dragster feels planted and well poised at all times. Italjet keep good company with other members of the hub-centric club, including what's claimed to be the world's most technologically advanced motorcycle, the £90,000 Arc Vector. Now let's take a more in-depth look at the exact spec of the new dragster. The lights on the dragster are something else, LED side lights and projector headlights, which wink at you when you turn them on. The sequential Audi-style front indicators mounted neatly in machined alloy lever guards. The LED taillight and motorsport-inspired rear end is equally as impressive, also mated with sequential LED indicators. A convenient USB charging point is located just below the handlebars. The clocks on the dragster are fully digital and feature speed, miles covered, engine hours, time and service intervals. The diamond cut wheels give a nice touch with a 12-inch up front and a 13 on the rear. Braking is taken care of by Brembo with a 200mm disc up front and a 190mm disc on the rear, both supported by ABS and Brembo calipers. Just like the original, suspension duties were given to Paoli Italy, who supplied a pair of chunky adjustable shocks, the front being mated to Italjet's independent hub-centric steering system. Seeing as we're discussing features, it'd be rude not to mention again Italjet's 4-piece modular trellis frame with die-cast aluminium sections. The tailored seat, finished in a carbon effect fabric with contrasting coloured stitching and colour-coded insert, really show the attention to detail. The 9-litre fuel tank is mounted low down to give a lower centre of gravity and better handling. The cooling system is also mounted low down for the same reason and features twin rads and twin fans. Powering the dragster is a Piaggio double overhead cam 4-valve fuel injected liquid cooled engine, which comes in two flavours, a 12.5 horsepower 125 and a 17.5 horsepower 200. Under the seat you'll find enough storage for your phone, your wallet and a pair of gloves. You'll also find separate OBD connectors, one for ABS and one for the engine. This is also where the fuse box is located. So as you can see, the spec on the dragster is more akin to a high-end sports bike than a scooter, and I think it's fair to say that the world has never seen a sub 200cc scooter with a spec like this before. For me, it's a breath of fresh air, not only for the amount of attention to detail that's gone into a build like this, but it's nice to see a completely bespoke build once again. We currently live in a world full of rebadged vehicles where it's essentially the same under the skin with a different badge on it, or companies raid the parts bin and what they present as a new vehicle very rarely is a completely new vehicle. Not the case with the dragster. With the exception of the engine, this whole bike has been designed from the ground up using bespoke components. This isn't just the launch of a new scooter, it's a proper reboot for Italjet as a brand and a premium motorcycle manufacturer. But what can we expect next? Well, Italjet have already unveiled the all-new electric dragster, and I'm lucky enough to have been shown a few drawings of future concepts. All I can say is Italjet have some amazing things planned for the near future. Okay, that's pretty much a wrap, folks. I hope you've really enjoyed this video and got to learn a little bit about the amazing new Italjet Dragster. If you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a little like on there for me. If you have any further questions, something I might not have covered, leave a little comment down below and I'll get back to you ASAP. I always enjoy reading those comments, regardless whether they're positive or negative. I can take a good roasting. If you want to be an absolute legend, please do subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me and allows me to bring you more of these videos in the future. A little message for all you pre-order customers out there. I know a lot of you have placed pre-orders on these and you've been waiting for a long time to get your hands on one. The good news is I'm reliably informed they will be arriving in the UK in a matter of weeks, so you'll be taking delivery of those very, very soon. Shortly after that, apparently there will be available stock hitting dealers, so you'll be able to pop into a dealer very soon and see one with your own eyes. Right, that's it, that's a wrap. As always, peace and pistons.